I used to look at my husband like he was the strongest man I knew. But the day he lost his job, something died inside me. Not our marriage, that was already falling apart. It was my respect for him. And once respect is gone, it's hard to get it back. This is the story of how I stopped seeing him as my husband and started seeing him as a burden. Marcus and I met when we were 26 years old. He was a senior software engineer making a lot of money. I was earning much less. When I saw his career, I felt safe. He was successful, confident, and reliable. I believed I was marrying a man who could handle anything life threw at him. We built our life around his income. He paid most of the bills. I handled the house. It worked. I respected him. Then everything changed on March 14th. He called me in the afternoon. They laid me off, he said. What do you mean? The whole branch is shutting down. I'm done. I felt fear immediately. Not for him. For us. What about severance? I asked. Just 2 weeks of pay. 2 weeks. Our mortgage, bills, food, and car payments cost almost $6,000 every month. You'll find another job quickly, right? I asked. I hope so. I hope so. Those 3 words stayed in my head. Something cracked inside me. For the first time, I wasn't looking at a confident man. I was looking at someone who sounded lost. The first few weeks were okay. Marcus stayed positive. I've got some leads, he told me. But nothing happened. The interviews stopped. The calls stopped. The rejections kept coming. After 2 months, I started coming home and finding him on the couch. Same hoodie. Same spot. Same tired expression. One evening I asked, how many jobs did you apply for today? 4. Just 4. I was working overtime every week trying to keep us afloat. And he had applied for 4 jobs. We can't afford this, Marcus, I said. I'm trying. Maybe he was. But it didn't feel like enough. Every day he seemed smaller. Less confident. Less motivated. Less like the man I married. By July, things got worse. One evening I came home and found him asleep on the couch. The kitchen was a mess. Dirty dishes everywhere. Laundry on the floor. I stood there looking at him. And I felt nothing. No sympathy. No love. Just frustration. When he woke up, he smiled. Hey babe. I walked past him without answering. That night he reached for me in bed. I moved away. Don't. He looked hurt. What's wrong? Everything, I wanted to say. But I didn't. Instead I said I was tired. The truth was simple. I didn't feel attracted to him anymore. I didn't respect him anymore. And without respect, love started disappearing too. Soon I moved into the guest room. Neither of us talked about it. We both knew why. One night I found an old photo of us on my phone. We were smiling. Marcus looked confident and alive. Like someone who believed in himself. I stared at it for a long time. Then I deleted it. The next morning, I called a divorce lawyer. Reason for divorce? She asked. Irreconcilable differences. But that wasn't the real reason. The real reason was that I no longer recognized the man I married. The lawyer explained the process. I listened quietly. That evening Marcus asked if we could talk. We sat on the couch together. After a long silence, he finally spoke. I think I'm depressed. I looked at him. For the first time in months, he sounded honest. I think that's why I can't move forward, he said. I told him he should talk to someone. A therapist. A friend. Anyone. Maybe, he replied. Maybe. That word again. Not yes. Not I'll do it tomorrow. Just maybe. Later that night, I called the lawyer again. I wanted to move faster. A few weeks later, I packed my things. 2 suitcases. Important documents. Jewelry. Everything that belonged to me. Marcus was at the grocery store. I left a note on the counter. It said, Marcus, I've moved out. My lawyer will contact you soon. I also left the name of a therapist. I hope you use it. Take care of yourself. Elena. Then I left. I sat in my car for several minutes before driving away. I wasn't crying. I wasn't angry. I was simply done. A few weeks later, I got a text message. I started therapy. Can we talk? I stared at the message. Then I deleted it. Maybe that makes me a bad person. Maybe not. All I knew was that something inside me had already ended. A friend later asked me, do you think you were too hard on him? I thought about it. Then I said, no. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I wasn't. But by the time Marcus finally asked for help, I had already left emotionally. The hardest part wasn't watching him lose his job. It was watching him lose himself. People say love can survive anything. Maybe that's true. Maybe it isn't. But I learned something. Love is difficult to keep when respect disappears. And I stopped respecting my husband the day he stopped believing in himself. He lost his job. Then he lost his confidence. And somewhere along the way, he lost me too.
Please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.